I think the American people are more shaken than any time in my lifetime. I think they look at politicians in Washington and in the state capitals and sometimes in the city councils who don't pay attention to them, who don't care what they say. They look at the degree to which people are not responsive in government. And they look at the recent report that if you work for the government, you earn almost twice as much as the average American. And they think, wait a second, that's not what America was created for. So I do sense as I go around the country that there is a level of concern that maybe we have not seen literally since the early 1930s. But at the same time, part of our message in our movies and in our books is that we've done this before. We've been challenged. We've had difficult times. We've had to have great courage.
So this isn't new.
It's not new. It's part of life.
Overcome this.
It's part of life. Oh, well, yeah, absolutely. If you ask me 50 years from now, what would be the most prosperous country in the world, I bet it's going to be America. If you ask me what's going to be the freest country, I bet it's going to be America. So I don't believe, even though we have real challenges, I don't believe that it's impossible for us to pull together as a people and solve these things.
So what do you say to those out there who are one of the millions who are unemployed, or that single parent out there with no health insurance for their 2 children? What do you say to them at a time like this? Something that they can really sink their teeth into, something they can grasp.
I say, don't give up hope. Look for any job at any price to get back in the habit of going to work. And take all your spare time and study to increase your job skills so that you're more employable, so you can start to rise. That's not easy advice, but it's honest advice. My younger daughter, Jackie Cushman, and I wrote a book called 5 Principles for a Successful Life. And we say it's dream big, work hard, learn every day, enjoy life, and be true to yourself. And I think it's very important for people to have the courage of their dreams, but then to recognize you're going to have to work hard and you're going to have to learn every day. I find even at 66 years of age, as a grandfather, that I have to learn something new all the time.
Reflections over the past year. President Obama, how would you rate him? On a report card?
Well, look, President Obama is a very attractive, very intelligent, and very articulate person. He has enormous potential, which I think he has not yet lived up to. I think his domestic policies are mostly wrong. I think they're based on a secular socialist model of big government that just doesn't work.
Healthcare and his stimulus for the jobs as well.
Well, the stimulus has clearly failed. I mean, unemployment has risen 3 percentage points since they passed the stimulus. We've thrown an awful lot of money away to no good advantage. The health plan in the House and Senate is a mess. It would be a nightmare to try to implement, and I hope it goes away and we can start over. We need health reform, but we need practical, common sense, doable health reform, not a politician's designed big government monstrosity that clearly is not thought through very well and is not going to work. I was very impressed, though, with his speech at Oslo. Here's somebody who clearly had not earned the Peace Prize yet. It was given to him.
Stand firm behind. He did not earn the Nobel Peace Prize.
Well, no, of course not. And he said that. I mean, he'd only been president 9 days when they nominated him. But he rose to the occasion in a way that I wouldn't have expected, in that it was the most articulate defense of just war and the most articulate defense of America's role defeating tyranny and preserving freedom that I think we've ever seen at a Nobel ceremony. And I'm sure it was a great shock to the Nobel people because they're normally anti-American and they're normally very left-wing. But he said correctly, you know, nonviolence would not have defeated Adolf Hitler. Nonviolence isn't going to defeat Al-Qaeda. And I think for somebody who comes out of the background he does, he has shown very serious and significant growth as commander-in-chief in a way that every American should respect. And that gives me hope that going into 2010, if he will be as open to rethinking things here at home as he has been to rethinking his view on foreign national security, he could end up being a much better president than he is as of the present time. So I don't give up any hope.
Are you comfortable with his 18-month exit strategy from Afghanistan?
No, it's not going to happen.
Okay. So that's not realistic.
And if you read the fine print, he would like to begin exiting in 18 months. But he will have, at the end of 2010, 3 times as many troops in Afghanistan as Bush had. And so he could exit for a long time from that number.
Sure.
In addition, what I like about what he's done, though, is he's been honest about the fact that it involves Pakistan. He has a challenge in Iran. He has a challenge in North Korea. Iraq is not done yet. And I see him every week, with General Jones' help and the help of other people, becoming a more serious and systematic and thoughtful student of national security. And he is certainly bright enough and articulate enough that if he gets his head around what we have to do to defeat the irreconcilable wing of Islam, he will be a very formidable war president.
Another significant figure in the Republican Party, Governor Sarah Palin, since leaving her post in Alaska, regardless of what you may feel about her policies, she's quite popular. Is she going to be a significant voice for the party moving into 2010?
No, there's no question. You put your finger on a reality. Governor Palin's a celebrity. I mean, you could argue in some ways she's the most exciting celebrity in the Republican Party today. She's done very well on her book tour. She's done very well on television recently. And she is going to be a major player, and people just need to relax and recognize it. Whether that means she ends up as the nominee or not, nobody can tell at this stage. But she's clearly going to be an important force, and I think that's good because we have a chance to sweep the 2010 elections in the House and Senate.
Are you a supporter of Governor Palin's?
I'm an admirer of hers, and I think that I strongly supported Senator McCain picking her. I thought she brought new reform energy, new ideas, and new courage to the ticket. And I believe that despite the disastrous way in which some of the McCain staff introduced her to the country, she is a great natural talent, and I believe as one of the Republican leaders that I strongly support her, which is not to say I'd support her for president, but I certainly support her going around the country and helping elect Republicans.
Mr. Speaker, all the best to you. Thank you so much. What's the book for 2010?
It's going to be called To Save America.
To Save America. But in the meantime, we can read To Try Men's Souls, Rediscovering God in America, and so much more if we go to newt.org, correct?
That's exactly right. You got it.
You all know where to go, newt.org. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr.
Great
Speaker.
to be with you again.
Thank you so much. We'll be right back, everyone. Stay with us.